Welcome everybody to the Red Stars' pre-match press conference. We have Ava Cook and Coach Petrucelli here with us. My apologies on the confusion with changing out players. But as always, if you have any questions, please use the raise your hand function and I'll use it to call on you. Taylor, go ahead.
Hi, thanks for chatting with us today. If you could kind of start out with how the squad has looked this week, Coach.
I think we've trained hard and we've made progress. And, our goal with training every day is just to get a little bit better, and I think we've done that. We've worked a lot on playing in the attacking third and in the penalty area, on the attacking side of it. So we're starting to see some progress there.
And then what challenges do you kind of expect from Houston this weekend?
Well, the front line is really talented. Ordonez, Sanchez, Salmon, all are capable of scoring a goal at any time. So we got to make sure that we're solid in transition and we defend our penalty area well, because again, when Diana gets into the penalty area, she's tough to stop.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Taylor. Joe, go ahead.
Hey y'all, hope everything's working well. Sorry if I'm one room over from you and you can hear me. Chris, can I first ask my classic injury question? Is availability looking good with Penelope, Yuki? Aaron obviously had the personal over the last weekend, Sam Fish as well.
Okay, they all should be available. I think that's the easiest way to put it. Like, they're all available. I'm not sure if they're all ready to go 90 minutes, but if their fitness allows them to do that, they can. And then the only one, obviously, is the suspension for Bianca for cards. She's on her second yellow in the Challenge Cup, so she won't be available.
And of course, we kind of talked about this after the last match, but Emily Boyd gets honor from the league for 3 clean sheets in 4 matches. You guys have had the front row view of how hard she's had to work behind Alyssa over the last few years. I'm curious your thoughts from both of you about Emily.
Well, I think what she's done is really hard to do. She doesn't play much. She doesn't get the opportunity to play, so she's got to keep herself sharp in training and be ready, when the time comes. And I think a lot of credit to her, a lot of credit to Rade, her coach, who has put her in a good spot. And when the time has come for her to perform, she's performed very, very well.
And Ava, if I may ask you, you've got this kind of alternate ego now with the masked woman as a central forward. I'm curious, honestly, how has that impacted you at all? How has that process been? I've never had to cover my face like that in a sporting event, so I'm very curious about it, because, Kobe and them, when those things happened, made a big deal of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no Kobe, but unfortunately the mask it's gone now. But while I had it, it was definitely an adjustment. It's like when you're in basketball and you play with one of those visors, so you can dribble and focus on not looking at the ball. It was kind of like that for a little bit. The more I wore it, the more I got used to it. I tried to make it a point at practice that even if it was non-contact, a drill or a passing pattern, to keep it on, just to make sure I could just get used to having it. It was tough. It was definitely tough, but it did what it needed to. It protected me for the time being, and now I'm healed up, so the mask is gone. It's still in my locker. It won't be going anywhere, but it won't be making a return, hopefully anytime soon.
She's been unmasked.
Thank you for my headline. I really do appreciate that. Good luck to both of you on Saturday. I hope you don't have to run into me in the hallways. Appreciate it as always.
Thanks.
Thanks, Joe. Larry, do you have a question?
Yeah, hey guys, thanks for taking some time. I'm just curious what this time is like for you guys, because you're not only continuing on with your season, but at the same point, you have the Women's World Cup, the biggest event in the sport. I'm curious, just and for both you, Chris and Ava, what it's like to kind of do that while also kind of keeping your attention on what's going on in the World Cup. I'm just curious how this time is for you guys.
Yeah, it's hard one because of the time of the games. Getting enough sleep is hard. But yeah, I've been waking up in the middle of the night and watching the games, and following obviously our players, certainly the U.S. team and Shayna with Jamaica, and also from my standpoint, watching the other teams and seeing if there's maybe possible players out there for us, and then trying to concentrate as well. At night it's World Cup, and during the day it's Red Stars. Basically, is how it works.
And then for you, Ava, I guess what it's like to be kind of paying attention to that, and yet at the same point still trying to get your season going and still trying to get things taken care of here domestically.
Yeah, I mean, this is always a really exciting time for anyone who loves soccer, obviously, especially women's soccer. Like Coach said, the time zones are hard. The difference is tough, but I think it's really good that this is kind of going on right now, because I think there's a lot to learn from watching those games. Whether it's the U.S. team, whether it's other teams, it's obviously kind of been a hectic World Cup so far, which makes it that more exciting, and it's definitely giving us a lot to talk about. Just rewatching games, kind of seeing different tactics in that side of the game, and while focusing on ours, you can watch a game and maybe think, oh, I like the way that person made movements in the box, or the way they are playing the ball around the back line. You can just kind of take little parts of it and kind of add it to the way you want to play here. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely hard with the time, but it's good.
That's all I have. Thank you. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Larry. Ednan, do you have a question?
Yes, my question is for Coach Petrucelli. I want to ask, how's the process with Mallory? Have you talked to her? How does she see the team from the injury prospect, and if there's any time frame when she's going to be available, or how her injury is right now?
She's coming along. She's making progress. She does a lot of her rehab off-site, but she's been here more and more recently as she starts to ramp up her rehab. We still there's been no timeline set with her from day one, because we just want her to go through the whole process and not worry about trying to make it back for this or make it back for that. And so, at this point we haven't settled on any dates as to when she might be back. We're not, I'll tell you this, we're not days away. We're weeks, and we're talking weeks and months. So but she is making progress. I think she's in a pretty good spot right now.
And my other question is, the U.S. women's national team is having a friendly in September in Soldier and last year the Chicago Red Stars had a combined schedule with the Chicago Fire at Soldier Field. I believe I asked this question at the beginning of the year if the Red Stars were thinking about having friendly games this year. Do you have any plans to do it before the season ends with any teams?
No, I don't think we'll have any. We don't have any doubleheaders set. I think there was a real effort on our part to try to get something done with Fire at Soldier Field, and the schedules just didn't line up, and it wasn't. I think both clubs wanted to do it. I think the TV got in the way a little bit of how they schedule things, but I think both clubs continue to want to do it. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen this year, but I would expect something next year for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ednan. Any last questions for either Ava or Chris? Looks like a no. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'll send a recording out shortly.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.